Hey y'all, what is up? Skylar here with Sky Gardens. Welcome back to our In His Creation segment here on YouTube. This is where we talk about what in the world God is doing in the garden in this exact moment. I'm sorry about the wind today. We've got quite a bit of wind outside. It kind of calmed down just now. Maybe we'll keep that for a bit. But if you hear any wind noise in the background, I'm really sorry about that. I wish it was something I could control. But unfortunately, I do not have the controls to the weather. If I did, whew, that'd be amazing. I do pray about it though, so there's that, I guess. But today I've actually been crawling on my hands and knees through our tunnel, looking at our anemone plants and deadheading all of the old blooms off of them. And so really they're not old blooms, they're just really, really short blooms. So let me show you what I'm talking about, like tiny. You see that thing? So short. They're so short that they really are good for absolutely nothing. At a certain point, they get a little bit longer to where we can put them in jars and sell them to people that way, which is really good. But at this point in time, they're just so short that they don't go in hardly anything. And I bring them inside, any ones that I can savor, and put them in a jar, and they just get to bless me and my family for a period of time. But this was just making me think, as I'm walking through all this, I'm crawling through the tunnel, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, what this is and what God is doing in all of this. And he's just shouting out to me. We don't even have a Bible verse today that we're looking at specifically. We're just looking at what he's doing exactly in this and how this relates to anything heavenly, right? And it's really cool to me. Because these little bitty stems are so beautiful and so amazing. And I love to get to see them. Look at those. They are just so pretty. Wow. They don't smell. Anemones just don't smell. But they're beautiful. And I think about this picture that I actually saw the other day on social media somewhere. And it's a picture of this little girl, and it's a teddy bear or flowers or something. I don't remember exactly. I thought of it as flowers for me. And she's talking to Jesus. And Jesus is right there next to her, and they're next to each other. And Jesus is, crouched down on her level, which is a different little dimension to the image. Because he meets us where we're at, right? But he is sitting there and talking to the little girl. And she's holding a bouquet of flowers like this one, really small bouquet, or maybe it's one flower. I don't even know, but I just think of it, the anemones with tiny stems that are worth nothing, truly, that you would never find anywhere because they're not worth anything. And this little girl is talking to Jesus, and she's holding that flower. And it's like, in my head, this is my thought on the picture, it's like God is saying, or Jesus is saying, okay, let me have that one. And behind his back, he's got a bouquet of the most beautiful flowers you'll ever see. For this exact scenario, it's long stem anemones with, 18-inch long stems just right behind his back. And it's like he's asking for this one. And she's sad, right? She's sad, but she's also happy. She's like, God, I don't want to give you this. They're so pretty. They're so amazing. They're so beautiful. I don't want you to take this away from me. But right behind his back, he's got a gift that's worth so much more, that is so much better than she could ever imagine. But her eyes are so focused on this, right? Isn't that how we are? Our eyes are so focused on what is right in front of us, on the gifts that God has given us right there in this moment. And sometimes it's so hard to let go of those things and to let go of whatever we've got in front. These anemones, God, please don't take these ones away. But he's right there, and he's got the better ones behind his back. If we just give it to him, right? And that is exactly what that is saying to me in that picture. And as I'm crawling through this tunnel and I'm cutting these flowers off that are worth nothing, and whenever we have the long stems, really, these ones go and they just go right on the ground. They don't even get picked up. You can see some of them back there that were so short that they just went straight on the ground, because that is what we have to do. And we have to keep on cutting these flowers. But in doing that, anemones are the exact same way. Whenever you cut all of the bad little flowers, they're not bad, but they're beautiful little flowers off, that is what makes way for them to produce long, beautiful flowers. And if you don't cut them off, guess what? They'll stop producing. The true reward, the true return that comes won't happen, because you didn't cut off all of the little ones that came before. So I hope this is encouraging to you. I'm sorry we didn't pull out a specific Bible verse, but as I'm just sitting here, crawling through here, my back hurting a little bit, thinking I've got to cut all these off, there is a reason for it. And God has such an amazing plan for it. If we just follow what He asks, give it over to Him, and make way for the things that He has in store that are so much more beautiful than the things that we're imagining right here in this moment. And so that is it for today. I hope that this was encouraging to you. I hope that the wind noise didn't bother you too much. And man, I hope that you get to see a little bit of God in little stems of anemones. And I hope that you see that He has so much more in store for you and for me. And I cannot wait to see this spring. I mean, look at what He's doing here. So cool. So thank y'all so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this, send it to a friend. They might be able to use the encouragement too. Like, comment if you have any questions about these little guys. They're so neat. Anemones are very, very cool. That is like the sea anemone, like an anemone from Nemo. Same thing, same spelling, just a flower version. They are amazing. We're probably going to talk about them more. I've talked about them a lot in the past, and they've got a lot of story behind this little flower. So they don't smell very much, but they are so cute. So, all right. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna keep cutting these and then maybe go get some lunch. Wish me luck. All right. See you next time.